Let's give this a try. Kind of fix that up a bit. So, this is Dungeon Saga Origins. As I mentioned, I don't know anything about this game. However, I picked it up at retail. It's for 1 to 5 players, sorta. It's like Descent, right? So in Descent, you have like an overlord player, and that person is responsible, like, you know, a DM, right? Gonna manage the dungeon, manage the monsters, do all the mean things to the heroes. This game is like that. There is an AI overlord, which looks actually kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so for one of the challenges, I guess, is that part of what this game is built around, for sure, is a little bit of hidden information. There's things like secret passageways and stuff like that that you don't know about until you know about them. It's kind of hard to be both the AI overlord player and the player group and not know those things. So we'll have to see how that goes. I see this game in my game store, Legends. There you go. So I get the impression that this was a Kickstarter just because there's like a legendary edition and stuff like that that I do not own. I just bought the like base game, and it looks pretty cool. It's the most, you know, generic of fantasy archetypes, right? If we look at the box here, oh, maybe I can't get that in there. Yeah, no way. Anyways, it's you know, your barbarian, your dwarf, your elven archer, your human wizard. You know, it's pretty standard fantasy fare. But in any case, why don't I dive right in here, and let's see what this first scenario we're doing is called. I am not reading this whole thing. There is no world where I am reading this entire thing. But I will read this one. Scrambling down the narrow, dusty steps of the entrance chamber, the heroes are met by a dry, rattling sound. From the gloom just ahead, a shuffling skeletal warrior covered in half-rotten rags and wielding a jagged, rusted sword emerges. The rumors had been right. This ancient place isn't empty and abandoned. The restless dead walk here, and they seldom walk alone. The heroes need to defeat the undead and find their way through this place. So our objective as heroes is to find the secret passageway. Now, of course, I know where the secret passageway is because I have to know in order to set up the game. Whatever. I also get to set out some traps, which I didn't do yet. I don't know if we do those when they're revealed. Probably when they're revealed. All right. Anyway, so let's talk about this game. So we're trying to find the secret passageway. I totally don't know where it is. But we are all starting down in this little corner here. Maybe the slider cam will give us a good angle. There we are. So we've entered this little corridor, and there are these nasty looking undead soldiers. The camera doesn't want to focus, but they're there. Know that they are there, and they want us dead. Okay. Now, an interesting thing about this game is that when we perform a movement action, we have to choose which way we are facing, okay? So all of the heroes are currently facing forward, and on each turn, they get to move and perform an action, okay? They can fight, they can cast a spell, they can explore, but only if there's no bad guys, all right? And, yeah, so importantly in this game, we have a front and back arc. So if I move this guy, let's just teleport him over here for now. Okay. If our barbarian dude here, who has a enormous axe, as one does when they are, you know, a barbarian, we're gonna call the way he's facing with his head forward. So it's that way right now. So he's got a front arc, which is these 3 spots in front of him. Those are spots that he can attack, And if enemies are there or like leave those spots, we get to do free attacks against them, that sort of thing. And then he's got a back arc, which are the 5 squares kind of adjacent and behind him, where if we get attacked, we're going to take some extra damage. Where, you know, it turns out that if somebody comes up and stabs us in the back, we're kind of a little vulnerable to that, you know? So, sorry, elven lady. Don't get taken out by this enormous axe. Make of that what you will. So yeah, where we're facing matters a lot. And we essentially, each character gets to move and then take an action. And something that's interesting is that the AI Overlord player here, if this was a normal Overlord player, they have these interrupt tokens, okay? And essentially, that lets them... The Overlord's going to take a turn at the end of all of the player turns, as one might expect. But the interrupt tokens let them take a turn at some point between player turns, okay? And essentially interrupt the normal flow of play and attack with a monster. You should paint your dudes so they stand out more. You know what, Bockel? I should. It is very gray, I will be honest. I don't even feel like you guys can see where these guys are. It's very gray. But painting these guys, I am having one of those streams. It was hard just to get this set up and on stream today. Painting was definitely not happening. Not that I would imagine that would be a immediately before stream activity, but anyway. So, where we're facing really matters for that front arc, back arc kind of thing. All of these characters can be revived one time, but when we revive them, we give the Overlord player another opportunity to interrupt us, okay? Each character here has like a special ability, and that special ability, or they also have a feat, a special feat that they can perform, okay? Each character has 2 feats. 2 feats, that sounds funny to say. I picked randomly which ones they get. So, we got Rorden, our dwarf fighter. Once per game, he can re-roll any one of his dice when defending an attack. He's good at defending. He's got all that armor. We picked Shield Bash as his feat. Feats are also once per game. Okay? So this feat here says, all monsters adjacent to Rorden must move away 1 square if there is room. Monsters are moved by the hero player. No free strikes are made. Okay, so it just backs them off. We just knock them away. We don't get to knock them away and do a bunch of damage. Orloff, the human barbarian. Dude has a huge, huge axe. Okay? That's okay, you're doing your best. Thanks, Bockel. That means a lot. I feel like this is the sort of thing, this is a campaign game. If I loved this game, I would paint the models before continuing to play. But we gotta, something I've actually, here, to go on a totally tangential monologue, because I've never done that before. Something I've been thinking about a lot is this idea about games needing to be good enough to get played a second time. Are they good enough to hit the table twice? I feel like that's like an incredibly important threshold for me as somebody who plays a lot of games, right? I play a game once, it has to be like, if it's mediocre, I'm never playing it again, right? Like, for instance, on this Friday, we played Expeditions, the sequel to Scythe. That was the most gray, bland game I think is physically possible to design. It was shockingly unexciting. And it's just like, I'm never going to play that again. It's not good enough to get played twice, right? Same idea here. We'll see how this goes. If this was, this is a campaign game. If it's great, maybe I'll paint these things. Maybe I'll get Jared to come help me out. Preach it! Yeah, anyways, it's something I've been thinking about a lot. Because, like, whatever. It's sort of the... Back to the front cam. In the olden days, 15 years ago, okay, there was like 1 or 2 game releases per year that you would be excited about. Like a new Euro game is coming out from one of the top 3 designers. That happened annually, not every week, right? So the state of that has changed. Games come out frequently now. I have more games than I have time to play them. So if they're going to hit the table more than once, they got to be freaking good, you know? All right, back to it. So facing matters a lot. Where were we? Orloff, the human barbarian, unsurprisingly, enormous axe. We picked Whirlwind as his feat, okay? He basically allows him to take a fight action, but he makes 4 dice attack against every monster adjacent to him, including those in his rear arc. So we're going to save this Whirlwind, unsurprisingly, for when our friend Orloff is completely surrounded by enemies. He also has Frenzy. Once per game, he can re-roll any one of his dice when making a fight action. How useful is that going to be? Remains to be seen. Madriga, the Elfin Ranger. Sure shot. Once per game, she can re-roll any of her dice when making a shoot action, which is exactly like a fight action, except with a bow. And she has lethal aim. So she can use this as a shoot action and gets an additional die when making... add +1 die to your shooting attack roll. The dice system sounds interesting. We'll get there when we fight something. Okay. And the human wizard over here, once per game, he can reroll his dice when making a cast spell action. And he has a deck of cards here that... Now I want all the games, but there's too many. It's true. It's a problem, Bockel. Like, there's so many... I am surrounded by board games, and I play games all the time. And even being intentional about not acquiring them too often, I think I still pick up more than, like, I gain more than I get rid of for sure. And I probably acquire more than I play also. There's like a ratio there that's not favorable for me. All right, so we had to pick 2 classes of magic for this guy. We picked Petty Magic and Hydromancy. Why? I don't know, they sounded cool. Excuse me, I hope that wasn't super loud. I am sorry. So he can do things like Crippling Blow, Steel Skin, and Hold Fast. And then in his Hydromancy skills, Crushing Depths, Tsunami, and a nice Healing Spring. Okay, spells are once per game. So if we use Healing Spring, it's out. We've done it. It's over. That's it. His feat is Arcane Force, which allows him to cast 2 spells, one after another. But then he's just going to chew up his deck of spells even faster. Okay? Like most games... Hey, Time Roller, nice to see you. Like most games of this type, our characters here, they've got like a movement speed value, they have armor, they have all those typical trappings, you know? And so yeah, they've got a movement speed value, a combat value, their ranged value, which is 0 for everybody except the ranger, unsurprisingly. And then their armor. When we're taking damage in combat, we can take at most 1 damage on a hero per round of combat. Minions and stuff can take more than that. Bosses work like heroes. I don't think we're going to encounter a boss in this first scenario, but I made that up, so I could be wrong. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's give this a try. Maybe let's quickly talk about some of the monsters we're going to see, or at least the monster that we have in front of us right now. So these guys over here are skeleton warriors, okay? They're mean looking, but not too mean. Not known for being hyper intelligent, about as smart as I am, probably. Not that clever, okay? They're standing there menacingly, pointing their swords towards us. Don't read into that too much. And these guys also have all the respective stats about how far they can move and that sort of thing. We're going to activate the furthest away from us. And they have a AI pattern down here. It says they're mindless. The skeleton warriors, like myself, are mindless. So that's going to determine what kind of actions they take. Over here on the AI Overlord cards, we've got one for swarm monsters, one for cunning monsters, one for vicious monsters, and one for mindless monsters. So that's going to determine how they act on the Overlord turn or when the Overlord interrupts us. Okay? I keep forgetting Time Roller is a person and not just the equivalent of a sandwich in For the King, even though your game named it that after him. It totally did. I remember when we were playing that game and we had named the sandwiches after Time Roller, and then we didn't play the game for like maybe a month or something, and then it was like said, like, just out of turn, it was talking about everyone's enjoying Time Rollers, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? I was so confused because it was like just, yeah, it was used like it was like a verb, and it was just like, I don't know what this means anymore. I'd forgotten that Time Roller in that universe, a Time Roller was a sandwich, so that was weird. I'm a sandwich personified. I will get in your belly. Totally. All right. So, let's give this a whirl here. So we are trying to find a secret passage. Okay. And we're all grouped down here. There's some skeleton dudes coming after us. I decided that I would put these guys in order left to right, so I'm just going to try to resolve them in that order every time. I think we're allowed to choose. I don't really know. I don't think it matters that much. But because our dwarf fighter's hiding back here, I never showed him off. He is stout, as one might expect a dwarf to be. Wields a mighty hammer. The only thing mightier than his hammer is his beard. I feel like there's an awful lot of opportunity for innuendo with everything I've said today, but whatever, we're just going to roll with it. So anyways, this guy is going to go first, okay? So he can move and then can either fight, shoot, cast a spell, use his feet, explore, or trade with other users. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to run over there and smash this guy right in the face. Okay? Why would we do anything else? Why would we do anything else other? We have a movement value of 4. We want to place this guy in our front arc. Okay, that's the 3 spots in front of us, and we are going to like slap him in the face with an attack. So, that brings us to the next important thing. Let's make sure we get attacks right. They're a really important part of this game. And, you know what? I didn't grab my dice tray, which we have all these cool-ass dice that we are going to be rolling, and I failed to grab the tray for them. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break real quick. 2-minute break, run a quick ad, grab that dice tray, fix my music, which is way the hell too loud. Apologies in advance if it's been echoing. Or not in advance. Apologies if it's been echoing. But I will be back in 2 minutes, and we will start hucking some dice and seeing how it goes. Be right back. All right, friends, we are back. I grabbed my little dice tray here. Probably blocking us from seeing. I just noticed now on the slider cam, I've conveniently positioned it where it completely invalidates actually seeing anything that's happening in this dungeon. God, I suck at this. Okay, Okay, that makes me irrationally angry. So we're gonna put the dice tray on the other side over here, and yeah, I don't know. Whatever, we'll do that. All right, so we're gonna throw it over there. Leaves us with this big empty spot for no particular reason. Love that for me. Okay, so dice and combat. Let's talk about this. So, let's make sure we get this right too. That's an important thing. When we fight, we get to use our combat value. We got 2 sets of dice here. We're always going to be rolling dice for both the people in combat as well as the people, or the attacker and the defender. Okay, so we roll equal to our combat value. So for Rorden over here, our combat value, that is the wrong one. Our combat value is 4. We're going to say that the blue dice are the hero dice. So we're going to normally, we would be rolling 4 dice for him. Okay? And our piddly little skeleton warrior here, he is going to roll a mere 2 dice. That is his combat value. I feel like the combat value is supposed to look like axes, but it looks like a maple leaf to me. Okay? So, Rorden here is going to roll 4 dice, and the skeleton warrior is going to roll 2. Now, if we were outnumbered, if in this, anywhere in our adjacent squares, if there was more than one enemy, okay, right now it's just us. Whoops. Oh my god, it's a disaster. Right now it's just, okay, this guy won't even stand anymore. Oh my gosh, that axe is unwieldy. Okay, so it's just us and this skeleton warrior, right? If we were outnumbered, we would lose a die, okay? If there's more than one enemy in our front arc. And it's possible for us to outnumber the enemies as well, okay? So they would lose dice. And then the defender loses dice if we're attacking it attacking them from their rear arc. We snuck up on them, we're stabbing them in the back. They get fewer dice. However, no one ever rolls fewer than 2, and essentially 6s are always a hit and 1s are always a miss, irrespective of anything else. Okay, so we're going to roll all these dice. Let's just do it all in here at once. See what we get. See if we can. There we go. Okay, so we're going to roll all these dice in here. That was a shockingly better roll than usual. Okay, so the blue dice are Rorden's dice. The white dice are those of the skeleton warrior. So what we would do now is we would discard any dice that are feeble from the attacker, okay? So basically, this skeleton warrior has 2 armor as well, okay? Anything that wouldn't cause armor or cause damage, so 2 or lower, we're going to discard. In this case, we don't have to discard any, okay? And then we basically pair up all of the dice in like highest to lowest. So we're going to pair our highest with the skeleton warrior's highest. So we got a 6 and a 6. Okay, and then we're going to pair our next highest with their next highest. 5 and a 5. And then we have this 5 and a 3, which obviously he didn't roll enough dice for us to pair with any of those. Okay? For each pair, if the attacker is higher than the defender, we score a hit. So in this case, we don't score a hit because they're the same, and we don't score a hit here, but we do score 2 hits here, okay, because these were unopposed. So that's kind of cool, I think, right? Hold on, wait, I said 6ers are always hits, didn't I? Oh, I guess armor just can never be hot. A 6 can never just be automatically thrown away as being feeble. That's it. Okay. So then minion monsters are always destroyed when we do the minimum number of damage to them. So their damage target is 2. So if we do 2 hits to them in one go, then they die. We don't mark we don't mark minions as taking damage or something if they don't die. And it pisses the Overlord off if we attempt to kill them and don't. The Overlord right now is passive. If we attempt to defeat a minion and we fail to do so, he goes into aggressive mode and then he starts interrupting us. Okay? So the good news is we needed to hit this monster twice in order to defeat it, and we did. So this guy's dead. See you later. Easy peasy. Okay, so we ran over with Rorden. We took a fight action because that monster was in our front arc, and we vanquished him. Hello, Dispatchinator. Welcome in. Hope you are well. So, let's take a look. What's next over here? So, we have... I gotta move this slider cam up a little bit. That's what's next. I gotta target our dungeon area better. Why don't I fix that while I can see what I'm doing as a neat idea. What if I just do this? Hey, that's a little better. That'll do for now. Okay, so our mighty band of heroes here is still waiting to do cool stuff. Rorden ran forward and attacked a dude, and there is one remaining skeleton warrior that we need to deal with here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's figure out how we're gonna get there. I don't think we can kill that guy this turn. Maybe the archer can shoot him. But the other way that we're gonna end up pissing off the Overlord is if we open a door like this one right here. Okay, as we explore new areas, this Overlord, he gets mad. But he calms down and goes back to passive at the start of each round. Okay, so we should maybe keep that in mind. And the Overlord's going to act at the end of every round, and we're going to spawn new monsters if there's none on the board. Kind of pretty standard fare there, I think. Okay, so what's Orloff over here going to do? I don't think we can get anywhere useful with this guy. But he's got a lust for blood. So he's going to spend his 5 movement to try and get over to that skeleton warrior. Okay. And then our Elven Ranger, maybe, you know what? Maybe he should actually conveniently stand out of the way so that our Elven Ranger can walk over and shoot this guy. That sounds like a good idea. She's got 6 movement. She can get to right here. And then she can take a shoot action. So a shoot action works just like a fight action. Okay, we're still going to roll defense dice and stuff like that. Okay, but we have to have line of sight. Line of sight in this game is pretty straightforward. Like, it's basically from your square to their square. It can't be interrupted. And it has to pass through your front arc. You can't shoot the bow backwards over your shoulder. Okay, so we chose to face this way at the end of our move, and our shoot has to go in front of us. Okay, but we have a clear line of sight to this dude. So we're gonna roll our combat score. Okay. We're not gonna end up killing this guy unless we really do well. Our combat is only... Oh wait, our ranged is 4. My mistake. We're gonna use our ranged combat attack. So we're gonna use a value of 4 because we're this Elven Archer over here. We got 6 movement, 3 combat, 4 ranged combat, and 2 armor. Okay, so it's gonna be the same way as before. This guy is still gonna roll 2 dice to defend. We're gonna discard any feeble dice that we roll. There are opportunities in this game. There will be furniture out. Like this. Sometimes we're going to be able to... There's some furniture that is low. Okay, that's a nice high bookcase. If I was a more competent streamer, I'd be able to find something here. Here we go, here we go, here we go. There's a nice table, okay? This one's a low piece of furniture. We can shoot over top of this, but not over top of this. If we're shooting over top of furniture, that's going to be one of those things where it's going to cause us to shoot fewer dice, okay? That's that. So, feeble attacks are going to be anything lower than a 2. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's take a look here. This is a feeble attack. There's a 1. I think we only discard... It's only attacks that get discarded as being feeble, okay? And then we match up the pairs of dice. So our highest to their highest, and then the next highest, and then the next highest. So we're actually lower on this first pair, so that's a miss. But we are higher, 5 to 1. Oh, I'm doing this backwards. I rolled the wrong sets of dice. Anyways, whatever. I'll do it. Blue dice for heroes. We'll try and do that correctly next time. And this is also a hit because it's unopposed. So we have 2 hits, and this guy's going to die. Shot him in the face, used the wrong dice and everything. It still worked out. Okay. And then our friendly wizard over here is going to walk forward. He's got a movement speed of 5. And he's going to take an explore action so that we can go see. Let's have a look see. What's in the next room, right? We want to know what's over there. So in order to explore, we have to be in a room with no enemies, right? We have vanquished the bad guys. It's just us, okay? And exploring basically... hold on a second. Exploring allows us to search for treasure. How do we open the door? It's not an explore action? That's weird. Okay, so never mind. We're not going to do that. I have to, unsurprisingly, I don't know what the hell. Okay, it is one of those days. Turns out in order to open the door, you know where we have to be? In front of it, because we got to, like, you know, physically open it. I don't know what's my deal today. Okay, so we're not going to do that. But we could do an explore action. So, an explore action, we've got this exploration deck. And an explore action lets us either find secret passageways, if they exist in the area that we're in, or if there's no secret passageways, we go looking for treasure. And we get to take a look at the top card of this exploration deck. Now, there are quite a few cards in here that actually just spawn monsters or otherwise make us hate our life. So, we'll see how that goes. See how that goes. So what do we find? We search and we found a haste potion. The hero may retain this card and use it at the end of their turn. When used, the card is discarded and the hero gets to immediately make another move. They cannot take a second action, however. Alright, so our Denor, the human wizard, now has a haste potion. That feels like it will be useful for him. Probably in running away and hiding behind Orlov's biceps. Alright, so that is our entire player turn. Now our Overlord would take a turn, but it's a little bit clunky because there are no enemies on the map. The Overlord is going to cause every monster on the board from furthest to closest to activate following its rules based on whether it's a mindless or cunning or whatever. It's kind of archetype, but there are none. So, we're going to have to put in a spawn point. What does a spawn point token look like? One of these guys. I said what's one of these guys, and I couldn't find the bag. All right, so there's no spawn points currently on the board. So we're gonna put a spawn point out, and it's gonna be on a hero. On a hero starting square closest to the weakest hero. Okay, the weakest hero is probably the wizard. So the Overlord tries to be as mean as possible. We're going to hit the weakest character and, you know, that sort of thing. The one that we're the most likely to succeed at hitting. Okay? And we don't actually spawn a monster yet. So that's it for now. But we're going to piss the Overlord off when we open that door by walking up to the door and opening it. To be clear, it costs a point of movement, I remember now. So, Overlord turn. Little lackluster, little underwhelming, perhaps. Okay, so I want to read this about how and when we're going to spawn monsters. Okay, so only when there's no monsters on the board, we'll put out a thing and we would spawn some new ones. Okay, so it's our next turn. Let's have our never, ever scared monster, or not monster, what am I saying? Dwarf. Go open that door. But first, we're going to tweak this setup a little so that we don't keep showing off nothing. All right. We want that. No. What am I saying? All right. Is it going to actually start moving, or is it just going to be angry? Okay, we're just going to have a stationary slider cam apparently today, because this day of annoying stuff just continues to happen. Anyways, all right, we're going to have our dwarf run over and open this door. We're going to see what happens. Is this game in print? As far as I know, I bought it at retail quite recently. So, I believe so. I think it's quite recent. I think it came out this year. I do not know a ton about it, though. All right, so our dwarf is going to run over and open this door. That's going to cost him a point of movement. The door token it can never be closed again. So I'm just going to remove it from the board because that's going to be easier. And our Overlord player in top secretness is going to place out the new guys over here. So we've got a skeleton archer in the corner facing this way, who's probably going to shoot our dude in the face. And that door token that I hastily threw away should actually go over here. And our friend the Overlord is now aggressive. He doesn't like the fact that we've been opening doors and crap like that. So he's going to try and interrupt us and attack us with those monsters despite this, we're gonna, we're gonna do exactly what I think we should do here. We're a dwarf. We're gonna race in there and punch this guy in the face. We spent 1 point of our movement in order to open that door. And we're going to get our fat dwarven butt in here, and we're going to smack that guy in the face. Right? We want this guy dead. We race in through the door. We know we're going to get shot in the back with an arrow, and this is a horrible idea, but we're short, so we can duck, and we don't care. And we're going to punch this guy right in the face, hit him with an enormous hammer. So, as we know, nothing's changed here compared to last time. We're not outnumbered or anything else. So we're going to roll 4 blue dice for us, 2 white dice for our opponent. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Gonna alert because I'm visiting your mother-in-law. Nice. Hopefully nice. Okay, so we check for feeble attempts. This die here is a 2. That means it's a feeble attempt. It's gone. This guy's got 2 armor. We just automatically miss with that 2. But we're going to pair these up. And just like last time, so 5 and 5, we don't do any damage with this one. But a 5 versus a 3, that's a hit. And this is also a hit. So we did 2 hits, which is his damage target. That means we killed this skeleton. We're happy about that. But I'm pretty sure that the Overlord's angry and is going to immediately interrupt us now. So we haven't hit this yet. So let's give this a try. Let's make sure I get this right. Automated interrupts. If we were the AI player, we would choose, right? Oh, that's right. Okay, so he's aggressive. So in between turns, we make an interrupt check. We're going to look at the bottom card of the it says the exploration discard pile, but we don't actually have one. So we're just going to take the bottom card of the deck, and we're going to look and see, does this have an interrupt icon on it? Which it does. Okay? So we are going to attempt to interrupt. And we're going to just basically, as long as we have interrupt tokens available, we're going to interrupt the players, but to a maximum of twice per round. So we have 4 tokens available. We only discard one if we successfully damage one of the players. Okay? Which would cause us to then go back into passive mode. So we're basically going to try and interrupt twice. As long as we have tokens, unless we succeed at interrupting, in which case we will stop. So, an interrupt is basically we pick a monster and the furthest monster and try to punch the heroes in the face. Okay? So, we get to activate and use one monster. It had to have already been on the board. So this is going to be our skeleton archer in the corner here. Okay? And we're going to activate them and follow their kind of rules per usual. So a skeleton archer, like his skeleton warrior brethren, are also mindless. Okay, so we're going to use the mindless kind of decision card here, I guess. And we're going to essentially figure this out here. So, target is going to be the closest person. That's our dwarf. We're going to essentially just proceed through all of those things, right? So, let's make sure we get this right. First time for everything, you know? Let's make sure we get it right. If I could find it in here, that'd be cool. Okay, so we are engaged if a hero is in our front arc. which is not the case. The front arc for our monster here, it's the skeleton archer, right? So the front arc for this guy is these 2 squares, okay? So we're not engaged, nor are we flanked. That's when there's somebody in the rear arc, okay? There is, however, a monster. There is someone in sight. So we're going to perform our strongest available distance attack. Unsurprisingly, our skeleton archer is just going to attempt to shoot at us. Okay, so the skeleton archer has a ranged attack value of 3. Okay, it's direct line of sight, so there's not going to be any modifiers that take away dice from the monster, but he is shooting at our rear flank, so he is going to gain a die. Or rather, we're going to lose one. -1 die for the target if the shooter is completely within its rear. So... surely we still just... he doesn't have to be, like, adjacent to us. That wouldn't make any sense. All right, he's behind us. We're gonna roll a fewer die. That makes sense. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna still roll two dice for our hero. Okay, because we never roll fewer than 2, but we have an armor of 3. We're gonna reduce that by 1. Or wait, we roll our combat score. What am I saying? We roll 3 dice for our hero, because it would normally be 4, but we'll reduce that by 1. 3s or lower are going to get discarded as feeble attempts. So this guy has to really... we got to roll low, and he's got to really roll high, or this is going to fail. Because we got lots of armor. We're short. We're a short, stocky dwarf. We're gonna matrix the arrows by not moving. We're just gonna stand still, you know. So, oh, there's a die hiding in there. All right. So 3s and lower we discard for the attacker. So there's a 3 and a 1 here for our friendly skeleton archer, and then we match up pairs. And he has to roll higher than us. Our highest dice is a 5 and a 5, so he did not hit us at all. No matter how many times he hit us, if it was at least once, we would suffer 1 damage. He could hit us 4 times, we'd still only suffer 1 damage. That's how heroes work. But instead, he missed us. So, because he missed us, our Overlord remains aggressive and is going to attempt to interrupt us again after our Barbarian's turn here. Provided... oh, I see why we leave the door token on the board, because otherwise, how do we know where it is? It's not covering up a thing. Like, there's an unbroken wall on the terrain here. So, this is open now. And we can move diagonally and stuff like that. Okay, so I think our friend Orloff has a job to do here. He has a movement value of 5, and he really doesn't like skeleton warriors. So he's gonna race in there. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's gonna swing this. Oh, it's like right at this guy's head. Oh, it's just off camera. It's like it was made. He's made to decapitate skeleton warriors. It's like it's right there. Anyway, all right. So he's gonna race up and he's gonna fight this guy. He has a combat value of 5. Our skeleton archer has a combat value of 2. Okay. And he's not very armored. So we're only going to discard feeble attempts or only 1s on this guy. Only 1s. So we got 5 dice. We got to hit him once. Okay, this would be like a total off-cost roll to fail this. Run in there, axe, at decapitation height. Can we manage to flub this? I think not even I can. All right. So, whoops. So we would discard any 1s, which we have none of. I keep hitting these dice, which I got to be careful not to do. we would match up highest to highest, 6-2. We had 4 additional hits anyway. This guy is thoroughly dead. We have vanquished the skeleton archer. Okay. So that means we will not suffer any further interrupts, because interrupts only work on monsters that are already on the board at the start of the round. This is obviously like the intro scenario. Weak monsters. We could fail to kill a skeleton archer, you know, or a skeleton. It's been close, but not crazy yet. So our archer here has a movement of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to open the door. And we get to spawn whatever lurks in the next room, which I guess means now we'll be interrupted again. So, ooh, we have a zombie in the next room, waiting for us, lurking. Okay. So, our Overlord player is going to attempt to interrupt here. And our zombies here. This guy, hiding in the back. He's angry. We're kind of at the top of the board. I really didn't plan for this well, you know? Let's just do that. Easier than mucking about with the camera settings. He is a swarm monster. Okay? So, he's going to target the closest person. His movement, however, is cautious, not direct. So, cautious, I think, basically means that they're mindful of other, you know, threats on the board and things like that. They're not going to just run up, take a bunch of free damage or something like that and die horribly. But are they engaged? No. To be engaged, we would need to have this. Good afternoon, Velvet Knight. Thanks for that Prime sub. Appreciate you. This looks a lot like Hero Quest. Funny enough, at my feet right now is Hero Quest, which I have not played. So I backed the Hero Quest. Was it on Kickstarter? It was on Hasbro Pulse or whatever. You know, it was like a pre-order system. And I have it over there, and I've dutifully purchased a bunch of other like expansions and stuff, and it is literally at my feet right now. Unplayed. Well, maybe it's not the main box, it's just one of the expansion boxes. I'm gonna grab it now out of curiosity. Whoa, almost died. Hero Quest. The Frozen Horror is sitting here at my feet. But anyways, it does look like it. It's got that vibe. I feel like the thing that made me think of Hero Quest, I should have mentioned this before, but I opened this box up. So I bought this at retail. I think this was a Kickstarter or something, because there's bigger, better versions of it that I've seen online. But I bought this just at retail. It's just the base game. And the thing that made me think of Hero Quest immediately is inside. It's like, oh, hey, buy the Mantic terrain crate. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, Hero Quest vibes, right? Like we can get cool, you know, bookcases and doors and stockades and stuff, you know? Definitely got that vibe. But I can't comment on how similar the gameplay is because I haven't actually played Hero Quest. All right, so Chachia Kitten, welcome in. Interstellar Gecko, hello. All right, so I want to know what cautious movement is. I just want to understand that a little better so I don't screw this up. I don't think it's going to make a big difference for this guy. There's not a lot of opportunities here for him to move. Make best use of obstacles, terrain, and other models to protect itself. For instance, to avoid being outnumbered, etc. Okay, so it's not going to matter in this case because we're going to take a look at this guy's thing here. We're not engaged. That would be us in the front arc or flanked. Okay, we are. Ooh, are we in sight? We opened the door. I guess we're not in sight, but we're close, right? Because we're close enough. The zombie has a movement of 4, so we're close enough to be reached within their movement speed, right? So, take maximum movement to optimal attack range. Of course, the swarm is like a type of AI, but it could cover multiple different monsters. So zombies' optimal attack range is in our face. So we're gonna race up right into this doorway, okay? And we're gonna do a fight attack. So we're gonna fight. So our zombie here, let's take a look. We can't really see. The barbarian's axe is just too in the way. Our zombie raced up to attack us, wants to kill us dead. And a zombie has an attack value of only 2. Okay? When attacking, it receives +1 die for each other zombie or armored zombie adjacent to the hero. So thankfully, that would be the swarm bit. Thankfully, there isn't any, right? So our zombie is going to get just 2 dice to attack with. Now, unfortunately, our elven archer is like, our, I guess not least armored, but she gets 3 combat dice. Okay. I don't think there's any modifiers here. We're not outnumbered or anything like that. We're kind of just punching each other in the face. A zombie leapt out from around the corner to attack her. The zombie, her armor is 2, so 2s or lower will be discarded as feeble attacks. But then we're going to line up, we're going to match up our pairs of highest to lowest. So in fact, the zombie's attack, his highest attack is a 5 to our 4. So the zombie will successfully hit us. Regardless of the number of hits we take, we always take 1 damage. So the zombie ran over and took a big old bite out of Madriga's shoulder as she came around the corner. Now, because that was a interrupt action, we're going to discard one of our interrupt tokens. There's only 3 left now for the boss, for the overlord. And because we successfully caused a hero to suffer damage, we're no longer aggressive. We're back to passive. So we're not going to continue trying to interrupt the heroes, but the overlord will still take an overlord turn when we're done all of our hero actions. So after Denor, the human wizard, who's just standing over here in the corner, just like, aggressively pointing in this direction. Maybe he was trying to warn us of the upcoming zombie attack. I don't know, but he's just sort of there. He doesn't seem like the smartest of wizards, let's be honest. Oh wow, definitely HeroQuest inspired. She's infected now. Barbarian should decapitate her. Listen, that axe is at the right height for decapitation. We learned that earlier. For sure. All right, so can our human wizard do anything actually useful in this scenario, I guess is the question. Because we can move through allies, but we cannot move through enemies, okay? And we're in a scenario, a setup here where we could move, but we can't get, this zombie's blocking the door. I think we're gonna get bit again. This zombie's gonna latch on and do mean things to us that we're not gonna be very happy about. And I don't think that there's much that our human wizard can do about it. He won't have line of sight because we can't cast a spell like past the archer, so that won't work. So I think we might just suffer here. Sucks to suck, I guess, is the real challenge here. So with that in mind, what are we going to do for our wizard? I guess we could let's take a look at what our spells are. We can make a healing spring. All monsters within 2 squares of the caster are moved 2 squares away from them, so long as there is room. So we could knock back the guy with a tsunami. That's an option. Crushing depths. Target must be visible. Well, that isn't going to work. We can prevent targets from moving with hold fast. It's kind of cool. Steel skin. Target must be a visible player. Rolls +3 dice in defense. Holy schmolies. You know what? This is just a zombie. He's not gonna attack. He's not gonna successfully attack us twice. Surely, right? Surely not. So, let's simply have this guy walk into here somewhere. He's gonna hide out in the back. And I guess I think we can explore. We can take an explore action, because there has to only be no monsters in our room, I believe. Not no monsters on the map or anything like that. So, why don't we do that? Why don't we just look, we'll let her get bit while we just take a look around for some treasure, right? If an enemy model is present and visible to the exploring hero in a corridor. He's not visible enough for us to target. Right? We're just going to explore. We're going to say that that's legit. And we're going to hopefully not find a big pile of dusty bones. A bag of gold! You find a small bag of gold coins amongst the rags in the corner. You can choose to add 25 gold to your hoard. If you take the gold, roll a single die. On a score of 2 or less, a hidden mechanism triggers, ending that hero's turn. The Overlord may immediately open the nearest unlocked door, revealing any contents and activating a revealed monster. Jesus. Okay, well, we were jerkish enough to try and steal the gold. We're for sure just taking it. We're not like, that looks rigged. Surely there's nothing suspicious about this bag of gold in the corner. Okay, we rolled a 4. We're good. We're good. We get to take 25 gold and add it to our hoard. Rad. Okay, so I think gold's stored per character. I was very kind of fast and loose with the campaign rules, because I just wanted to get this out and started. So, all right, so it is the Overlord's turn, which means he's going to activate that zombie. And that zombie is a swarm minion who is now engaged, right? They are right up. This archer is in their flank, or in their front arc, I should say. So they're going to attack that archer again. Going back for round 2 for seconds, I guess. So they're going to get 2 dice. Our archer is going to get 3 dice. No modifiers here. 2s are feeble attacks. 2s are lower. Oh my god, it happened again. So this 2 is set aside, but we match up our highest dice. And unfortunately, our dice suck. And I rolled exactly as one might expect me to if you've watched the stream very much. And we're going to take another hit. So we risked it thinking, surely that zombie is not clever enough to find a way through our armor again. And in fact, he was. So that sucks. That sucks. All right. So I had decided I was going to just always play in this order, just for ease of whatever. I mean, I guess we can probably tiptoe diagonally through that door. I don't know. Let's just say we can. That'll make things easier. So Rorden's going to come save the day. He's going to run over here. I think if he moves through this guy's front flank, though, then he gets hit. Okay, we're going to activate them out of order. We're going to just not mess up. We're just going to have her try to shoot this guy right in the face. Okay, we're going to start with our I guess not even shoot. She's just gonna roll some dice and hit this guy. Punch this zombie in the face. Okay, so he's gonna roll 2 dice. We always roll a minimum of 2. Only ones are feeble, though. We didn't get any feeble. We're gonna match these up. I mean, I guess, yeah, as long as we didn't have any feebles, we would automatically get a hit. How many times do we need to hit a zombie? Twice. So we got 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits. This zombie's dead. She's done, though, because we, I think we move and then do our action. So, okay. So where are we? Who's next? I don't know that it matters. We just got to get that door open. Let's take a look at our healing spring here. What can this guy do? Cast the spell on any hero model within 6 squares of the caster. The target does not need to be visible, and they recover 2 health. So we could get our archer back to full. So yeah, why doesn't our human wizard walk over, cast that spell, the healing spring? It is now discarded. Feel like I'm remembering that there's something else we need to do with spells. I know they're once per game each. No, that's it. All right. He healed us up, and then we're gonna send Orloff into this room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't even make it to the door. That axe is too big. And our dwarf, 1, 2, 3, 4, can make it to the door, but can't actually open it because he can't reach the handle. Sucks to suck. Because he only has a movement speed of 4, costs 1 movement to open that door. So, killed the dude, everyone's activated, but there are no monsters on the board at the end of the Overlord turn, or at the, yeah, so he's going to spawn one. I think. Let's see how this works. I feel like the spawn point's supposed to follow us, but I don't know if this is because it's the intro scenario and we're just kind of like proceeding through and there's always like one monster. You know, I feel like we're going to move the spawn point and not actually spawn anything, right? No heroes are present on a game tile that contains an existing spawn point. Oh, we are on the tile. So we're going to draw the bottom card of the discard pile. And if it displays an interrupt icon, which we knew it did, we put a monster out on that spawn point, but we don't activate it yet. So the monster that spawns is, I think, defined per scenario. It's the marauding monster, which is a zombie. So a zombie is going to spawn way over here and slowly track us down. But it's not going to activate until next turn. And that means we are free to go. So, we're going to open this door. Click, click. That's part of our movement. I guess we get to see what all spawns in before we figure out where we're going to spend our remaining 3 movement. So we open that door. I don't think there's a good way to do trap tiles with the Overlord. Like, you know, I don't feel like we can only, by the scenario rules, we're only supposed to place out 2 trap tiles. But, you know, we kind of know where they are and stuff like that. We're just going to put the trap tiles out as shown. And we're just going to resolve them. Like, we're going to walk across them if it makes sense. And if it makes sense, we'll do it. You know, we'll try to pretend I didn't know. All right, so what do we got? We got a skeleton down here. We got a skeleton archer down here in the corner. We got some rubble that is on the board, blocking us from going further that way. There's another door over here that we could go check out. And there's another skeleton. Okay, so we found all the friends. All the friends. And some more rubble. So there's nowhere to go up. We can't get into this little corner room over here. Okay, this corner room, there's no doorway. There's a doorway if we want to go this way. There's a doorway if we want to go this way. I don't know if we're supposed to place the trap tiles on the board or not. They're shown. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Whatever. We're gonna know that it's there. I'm gonna know it's there either way. I'm the Overlord player, whether it's not on the board or not. We'll just run across it if it makes sense thematically. If we would have tried to go there, we'll try to go there. So we've used one of our 4 movement in order to open this door, but we can move diagonally. So I think we could spend our remaining 3 to end up right in this guy's face and give him a good little like love tap right here, right? Just see if we can put this hammer to work some more, you know? So once again, we got our skeleton warrior here. He's gonna roll 2 dice and we are going to roll 4 dice. Oh my god, we failed. That was off camera, but the skeleton warrior has an armor value of 2, so we discard any 2s or lowers. That's literally all of our dice. All of our attack was feeble. We ran over there. We were exhausted from that short sprint, and we dropped the hammer on our own toe. Damn. You hate to see it. It also means that the Overlord is now angry because we made an attack but failed to kill the enemy. So we have an aggressive Overlord. So he's going to attempt to interrupt us. We actually need to pay attention. I think it's always the furthest monster that gets activated. Oh, I guess we are aggressive. We have to draw. We have to draw the bottom card of the exploration pile and see if it has an interrupt icon. Okay, it does not. So we will not be interrupted this turn. I think we're supposed to do that every turn. That really only makes sense if there's cards in the pile, which we didn't have. So that was kind of a little clumsy, but anyway. Okay, so we do not get interrupted. It's now time for our barbarian to save the day. So how are we gonna save the day? We're gonna run over here, you know, axe swinging. We got a speed of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, we're ready to swing this axe and decapitate this guy. Surely this one will work out better. Surely. So we're gonna do a fight, but we get an extra die because or do they get one less? Because we outnumber them. I think that means we get an extra one. No, it gets one fewer. Okay, so sadly, this doesn't actually help us at all because it can only ever roll a minimum of 2 dice. But we still get to roll 5 to his 2. Surely this will work. What could go wrong? We run over, we're trying to decapitate him. Hopefully he doesn't duck and we decapitate our dwarven friend. I guess he's too short for that to happen. All right, so 1s and 2s get discarded. And then we got a 6, a 5, and a 5. That's higher than this 3 and the 2 pair. So we're going to get 3 hits. We're going to kill this guy successfully. Now our Overlord is going to check if they're going to interrupt us, and they are. So they have interrupt tokens to spend. They're going to interrupt us. Who activates in this case? Because it's only one monster. They get to pick. So we're trying to pick whatever's going to be the meanest for us. So probably it's going to be the skeleton archer, right? I should stop looking in the rules. We should just play this a little more fast and loose. It's that type of game anyway. The skeleton archer's going to attack us. Okay? And he's going to make a ranged attack because he can do that. Now, he's only going to activate once. Even if we get interrupted again, it won't happen. But he's going to attack with 3 dice. Okay, he's going to attack that barbarian because the barbarian's right there killing his friend. The barbarian killed Bob. And, you know, we're not very happy about that. Or he's not. Unfortunately for him, the barbarian is like, you know, Neo or something and gets to roll a ton of dice and can dodge and stuff. So we throw out anything that's a 2 or lower, which is nothing. And then we put all these pairs together. And unfortunately, this is a miss, a hit, and a miss. If he hits us at least once, we take a damage. So Orloff has an arrow in the bicep. That sucks. That sucks. But our Overlord is no longer angry. And we get rid of another interrupt token. All right. So, our archer has 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can stand here and can shoot either of these guys. Let's get rid of the archer first. So we'll take a shoot action. We get 4 dice. The archer gets 2. We almost flubbed it, but the archer has very low armor, so only 1s are misses. So our 2s are gonna work out for us here. It was rough, but we'll compare those. This is a miss and a miss. This is a hit, and thankfully the archer only has 1 damage in order to die. So we will defeat the archer and won't immediately piss off the Overlord again. It was a near miss. I hate when my Overlord is angry too. Me too. I don't really want to talk about it though. All right. And then our wizard friend here. Should we send the wizard back to go clean up this stupid zombie? No, let's just let the zombie aimlessly, you know, wander along behind us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our wizard's gonna hang out. He cannot explore. I mean, I guess we could leave him back there. He could explore this room. This hasn't been explored for treasure yet. Our wizard's kind of useless. He just wants to hang out and look for treasure. So he's gonna explore. Jackpot. Oh my god, he's got a 6 cents for finding gold too. Behind what looks like the rusted armor of a fallen knight, you find a small chest containing a pile of coins. Add 100 gold to your hoard. All right. We should trust the instincts of the very greedy wizard, I guess. All right. So all of us have acted. It is now the Overlord turn. We start furthest away to closest. So our zombie over here is a swarm minion. He's far away. He's going to run as close as possible without leaving cover. He only has 4 movement, so he's going to kind of shamble along. He got surprisingly close. And then our skeleton warrior here is going to... So he's mindless, we'll recall. And he is going to... he's far. He's going to move towards the target. Or maybe he's close. Is he close enough to hit somebody? He is. He has a movement of 4. And he... Okay, the monsters are supposed to always attack the person that's the weakest, that they're the most likely to succeed. So they're significantly more likely to succeed in combat against this Elven Ranger than against our Barbarian. They're mindless. They would walk across that trap, surely. Do monsters trigger traps in this game? I don't know. I don't know. Only heroes trigger traps. Alright. So, he runs over and is going to attack our archer. She gets 3. He gets 2. Oh no. We're going to take a damage again. We suck. All right. Round over. Let's have our barbarian walk over and decapitate this guy. Walks over. Gets 5 dice to the skeleton archer's 2. Misses on a 2 or low. Oh my god. Okay, so we got a 6. Our barbarian is not very good with that. Okay, so these are all feeble attacks, 2 or lower on our skeleton warrior. Oh, actually, no. Our skeleton warrior, he would have just rolled 1 fewer dice, but never less than 2. Okay, actually, so there's a really weird edge case here where I think that actually these are going to hit because he can't roll fewer than 2 dice. He can't roll fewer than 2 dice, but he is outnumbered, so we would normally take 1 away. And when we can't take 1 away, we would take 1 away from his armor value instead. So instead of his armor value being 2, his armor value is 1. So those are feeble, but with the help of our friends, these ones are not. So, hit, miss, hit. So we do get the 2 hits we need, and this guy will die. I don't know about this barbarian, though, man. A little iffy. Okay. Surely the dwarf is going to go explore over here, see what he can find. 1, 2, 3 to open the door. What's behind it? What is hiding behind door number 3? Hopefully good things. Another skeleton. Another friendly zombie. And an open door. I don't know the significance of an open door. That seems... Oh, I guess it's already open, so we get to just place the next stuff out. Okay. So there's a zombie in the next room. But we can't place that zombie because we don't have enough zombies. We only have 2 zombie sculpts included. Well, we're just going to place an armored zombie instead because so far we've been having a pretty easy time anyway. Surely I won't regret doing that. We could treat it as a normal zombie if we want. Oh, and there's a treasure chest. And it shows gold on it, but I don't know how we do that. I don't know if that means we draw one randomly or what. We're just going to leave it as a treasure chest, and we'll figure that out when we get there. So, what do we find? Our dwarf used 3 movements so far. 1, 2, 3 to open the door. And he's found a skeleton, a zombie, another skeleton, and another zombie. An armored one. So he has 1 more movement. He could move through the door and hit this guy. But if he fails, we kind of get the... I guess we can always move past him. So we could move to here. And smack him in the face. I think we're going to take some damage if we move somebody else out in there. Also, not a great setup for our archer. But we're just going to choose to live the dream. We've succeeded with our mighty hammer more often than not. We're going to run in there and fight. Why else did we come here? If not to fight. Oh God. Okay. We got a 5, 2 3s, and a 1. A 1 is a feeble attack. These ones are good. So, the 5 is going to be a miss. Hit, hit. We need 2 hits to defeat him. He's dead. See ya later. Okay, our barbarian and our dwarf have activated. Surely we're going to just waltz in over here. We're going to ignore the fact that we found a bunch of monsters over here, and we're going to go like into this room simultaneously, because what could go wrong? Right? So, I think that's how I would play this. Our archer could run in here and shoot the zombie though. Probably that's what we would do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll get a nice clean line of sight. Make a ranged attack. 4 dice. Zombies get 2. They only block on 1s. We need to do 2 damage to them. We don't want them to swarm us later. Oh boy. Okay, so we only miss on a 1. Thank goodness, because we rolled a 6 and a 3. These are like loaded dice. We're rolling consistently low for us. Thankfully, these aren't misses, because that's blocked, but these hit. Okay, and that's 2 damage, which means we'll eliminate this zombie. So I'm actually going to get rid of the armored zombie. Go back to the real one. Okay. Who's left? Just our wizard. We're just going to let that guy keep shambling over towards us. I think we all know what the wizard is going to do. The wizard's going to roll over here and explore. Right? That's all he's done so far. I guess he healed us that one time. That was cool. I mean, now that this is less messed up, we could use our ability... Oh, wait. We opened the door. The Overlord's supposed to be angry. So before our wizard does anything, we should at least check if the Overlord attacks us. Which he doesn't. Okay. I guess that would have been... If we retcon a little bit, that would have been before we took our archer turn. And then we would just do it again before we take the turn for our wizard. So we do get interrupted. I don't think this guy can reach us. But him not being uselessly far away is probably more useful than these guys just getting set up to die. So he's going to move towards us. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, now he's just close enough to die, but oh well. Okay. The zombie is remain outside nearest enemy movement using any cover possible. So he'd probably stay out of line of sight at least. I think that's the most valid interpretation of the rules. Sure. All right. What's our wizard going to do now? Is he going to kill that zombie? He could, but he'd have to go melee it, which is highly unlikely to work. Or we can do a 3 dice attack against the zombie. But I mean, we got to hit him twice. I feel like our caster, maybe it was the spells we took. This guy, our wizard is, I don't know, man. He's not really helping us achieve much here. Okay, he's gonna run away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just set him up to run over that trap, but he's gonna explore. Okay. He's gonna explore this room. Do we find traps when we explore? I don't think so. Nope. All right. Let's see what we find for treasure. Another bag of gold. You gotta be kidding me. This guy has the sixth sense. He's got it. He's got it. We're gonna roll a single die. On a 2 or less, bad stuff is gonna happen. It's a 5. Another 25 gold. Just like that. The guy's too clever. He's just too clever. All right, Overlord turn. So, what's our Overlord gonna do? He is going to activate all these monsters from furthest to closest. So our zombie's gonna go first. He's gonna try to remain out of sight or out of range using cover. So I think he's just gonna hang over in the room over here. Just hiding out of sight of our friends. And then this guy, these guys are well, that's another zombie. So he's also going to do the same sort of thing. He's going to hang out over there. But our mindless skeleton warrior is just going to spend 4 movement shambling towards us. I think that's fair. They're both kind of facing that way. This guy's facing that way. And our Overlord is no longer aggressive. All right. So, we got to deal with those guys. They're in a yucky spot that I don't care for. They're waiting to kind of ambush us when we walk through that door. I don't like that. So maybe it's time to go exploring. So we're going to be fair like we said we were, and we're going to go 1 onto this trap. So I shuffled these up randomly. Let's see what we get. This, I don't know what that means. It doesn't look comfortable, though. It doesn't look comfortable. Oh, it's just like a big pit. It looked like it was some sort of weird roller or something. Ah, okay. So the Overlord's going to roll a die, and we get to see what type of horrible trap this is. We rolled a 2, and that means it's a poison dart trap. The hero immediately suffers a 3 dice fight attack. Okay, so our barbarian here gets attacked for 3 dice. He gets to roll 5, though. He's going to Neo the darts again. The last time this didn't work so well. So he only gets hit on dice higher than 2, so not that one. We're going to pair these up so he doesn't get hit. He's fine. He adeptly dodges all of the poison darts. They were old and no longer poisonous. It's 1 of his movement. 2, he's going to open the door. What do we find in the next room? A table. This is our opportunity for our archer to come shoot at people across the table, because that's cool. We all want to be that type of character. There's an extra skeleton in here that we don't have. So a shortage of minis is really a challenge for us, honestly. Probably that's better in other editions of the game that have more stuff. So we're just going to put this guy in the corner for now. We'll revisit him later. Well, actually, he's going to be right here because we're going to run over and assassinate him. We've spent 2 movement. We can 3, 4, 5. And surely this time, the decapitation happens. Look, it's like, I don't know if you can see that, but it's set up so right. Oh, it's just right. I'm sure that's impossible to see on stream, but it's like perfectly the right height. All right, so he rolls 5. Our skeleton warrior only rolls 2. We only miss on 2s and lower. We still rolled snake eyes, but we got a 6 and 2 5s in addition to it. So that's a hit, and we only needed 2. We successfully decapitate the skeleton, but his head lands on another skeleton warrior just on the other side of the room. And with a weird crumbly sound, that guy rises up and is ready to fight us as well. All right, so we've done our barbarian. These guys haven't done anything. Our archer, we call for help, and our archer is going to run over here and shoot this guy across the table because it's cool. So that means she gets 1 fewer dice. Shoots right through the door, across the low table. What do we get? Oh, that is dreamy. One's a straight miss. Oh, it's not dreamy at all. Oh no, there was a 6 hiding in the corner. So 1 is an absolute miss. But the 6 fails. It fails. I've been playing that way the whole time, and I think I should continue playing that way, but it makes me angry. It's confusing how it's supposed to be played. Oh, a 6 can never be blocked by armor. That's what it is. But it can just fail. So, we only hit him once, and we needed to hit him twice, which means we failed, and that means our Overlord is angry again. Pissed off Overlord is our least favorite type of Overlord. Okay? He's going to choose one of these guys to activate. Probably. These guys got a good ambush thing going. This guy's going to run over. He's mindless, so he's just going to run towards the closest target. He's not going to cleverly go kill the wizard or something like that. He's going to run over and he's going to attack our poor barbarian. Our barbarian defends on 2s. Whatever. He missed. He failed. He flubbed it. Sorry. Try again. Try again, Overlord. You suck. Okay. I think it's time for our mage to do something useful. So he's going to run over here and he's going to explore in this corner and see if he can find some more gold. No, I found a marauding monster. Damn it. Okay. The hero's turn ends immediately. And we place a marauding monster in any square adjacent to the hero. It's a zombie. Do we have a zombie that's not on the board? We should. Oh, he's over there. Okay. Man, we just need a couple more models. We'll just treat this as a normal zombie. Okay, so first we're going to activate this marauding monster. So he's going to attack us. We were here for this the last horror film we saw. We tried to walk through a door and got bit twice. But we'll see how it goes. He attacks with 2. Thankfully, we have a wicked 2 combat dice, and we block anything 1 or lower. Nice. Ah, we got hit. That's 2 hits. That's a 5 and a 5 and a 2 and a 2. We just flubbed that about as hard as possible. So we take a damage. Then the Overlord rolls 1 more die, and if we roll 5 or higher, we place out an additional monster. What do we get? A 6. Okay, so we place out an additional zombie, which we also don't have. So I'm assuming, yeah. Anyways, it has to be kind of far away. It's supposed to be, I think, at least 5 squares away. We're just going to put it over here in the corner. Okay. Well, our 6th sense was bound to fail us eventually. So our dwarf hasn't acted yet. So he can, whoa, whoopsies. He can run over and smash this guy in the face. And he's outnumbered, so he'll only block on 1s. We're treating him like a normal zombie, even though he's an armored zombie. Well, maybe let's just treat him as an armored zombie. Why don't we do that? So he rolls an extra die, and he'll block on 2 or higher, or 2 or lower rather, because he's outnumbered. No. No. He would just not roll the extra die, and he'll block 3s or lower. My mistake. Okay, so this 3 is a feeble attack. And he's going to block 2 of them, means we hit him once. We need to do 2 damage, which we do not do. So our Overlord would continue to be aggressive and is going to try and interrupt us. We failed to kill him. This is our last turn. I think it only interrupts between them, so it's just the Overlord turn anyway. So this is looking a little spicy. Maybe some mistakes have been made. It's hard to say. This zombie's gonna shamble over. He's trying to use cover. He can only move 4. He probably hides around the corner there. So he's sort of out of line of sight. He's not in the middle of the room, at least. Our other zombie is going to shamble over and attack this guy. But he's attacking from behind and gets +1 die for each other zombie adjacent to the hero. So he's going to attack for 3. And we're going to lose 1 die on our defense because we are being attacked from behind. Sucks to suck. Oh, but we actually, this is like a huge win. So we block 3s or lower. So he only has 1 hit anyway. And we totally block it. Our armor is too strong. All right. So our zombies have activated. Our mindless soldier guy is going to run over. Man, it is getting spicy in here. He's also going to attack us. Same deal. We roll 1 fewer die, but he only rolls 2. Still 3s or lower we block. So that one's blocked. I don't know what that die was, but it doesn't matter because we block at least the other one. So that's also a failed attack. Is this guy a zombie? I guess. I forgot I didn't activate him. I guess we do go furthest to closest anyway. So he's going to come hang out. We just got a horde of stuff. And then this guy's going to attack us. Attack us with 2. We have 5 defense. He misses 1, but hits with the other. So our barbarian once again fails us. Takes a damage. All right, the Overlord is no longer aggressive. We got some big problems. the hell are we gonna do? I think we gotta deal with this zombie problem before it becomes more of a zombie problem. There's a lot in this general area that's happening. Like a lot. So maybe this is an opportunity for our human wizard to do something useful. All right. At the very least, we're going to move this guy away so he's not immediately attacked. I mean, his attack is 2. He sucks at attacking. So we're going to run away. We're going to cast this crippling blow. Okay. Target must be visible. Suffers a 3 dice attack. We're going to just attack. Just do this on the guy in the corner here. So we get a 3 die attack on this armored zombie. Ooh, maybe that armored zombie isn't the one to do it on. Let's try it. Okay, so a 3 dice attack. Oh, we're just gonna piss off the Overlord though. That'd be bad. Okay, let's retreat into the corner and let's attack this other zombie, because then it's a little easier for us to actually kill him. We have some hope. Significantly lower armor values. So only a 1 is feeble, but sadly it didn't work anyway because we tied on the dice. We got a 4, which is a miss, and a hit, but we need to hit him twice. Our wizard is useless. That's okay. Combat and shooting dice values are reduced to 1 for the remainder of the round for that guy. The one zombie gets less combat when he attacks us, but it's going to go badly. I guess we should have just run away instead of standing here and hoping for the best. I guess we could shield bash these guys, but that doesn't help us because then they're still going to just hit us. I think I also should have taken a damage when I moved that guy. He would have taken a free hit, but he could have just cast his spell from where he was. Okay, we're just going to try and do our best here. We're going to turn this guy around and try and kill the weakest zombie. No, we're gonna leave him facing the way he is and kill the armored zombie. We got 4 attack. This guy's only got 3 and 3 defense. What could go wrong? Oh my god, that could go wrong. I think I even had an extra die in there. We're gonna be nice to me and say that this was the extra one, but these all miss, and this hits and it's lower, so we just missed again. Overlord's angry. Overlord should have been angry already. I screwed that up. Who cares? He's going to try and interrupt us. Who's he going to pick? Oh, perhaps one of the zombies. I think I know what's happening here, and it's going to end badly for us. So the zombie is going to just attack us. He's going to attack He's going to attack the wizard, because he always attacks the weakest possible target. So he rolls 3, and our wizard rolls 2. Only blocks. Only 1s are feeble. Oh, that was a big whiff. Okay, so our wizard's going to take a damage. That means he's no longer angry, though. He used his interrupt token. Okay, our wizard and our dude have, our dwarf have done things, unspeakable things. And all that's happened is they've managed to, like, be pretty close to dead. We should have rolled one fewer defense die because we were outnumbering the one guy, but we still would have failed horribly, so it didn't make a difference. Okay, so barbarian time. Our barbarian is here. He's literally mid-axe swing. Surely he just fights this guy again and actually kills him this time. Boom, he's dead. Okay, and then our archer, I guess, is going to run over here and do a ranged attack against the zombie. Ranged attacks against a shambling zombie surely are going to be easy to execute. Well, we hit the zombie once. Oh wait, zombies only block on sorry, my mistake. Zombies only block on ones. So we hit the zombie 3 times. He's dead. Cool. Zombie dead. I'm kind of regretting that time. Remember when I was like, we aren't having any difficulty. Let's just make these armored zombies instead. It'll be fine. That was a mistake. Oh, wow. I haven't looked at chat in a minute there. Jack, welcome in. Thanks for that Prime sub. Appreciate you. And Jared, you came in just in time to watch me fail. And we did talk about painting these minis. I went on a little rant about it. I could even tell you about it in a sec here. But first I have to let this overlord kick my ass. So, you know what? There's an ad running. I'm going to take a second. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Jared, if only I knew someone who could help me paint these minis. It's true. So we went on a little rant about that, or I did, earlier, where I said something that I've been figuring out and kind of messing around with is this idea that a game has to be good enough to get to the table a second time, right? Because I have lots of games, and I don't need to play mediocre ones. So if I was going to do something like paint these minis, games have to pass this threshold of I've played them and I want to play them again. And that doesn't mean I'm going to paint the minis. Don't get me wrong. I have lots of mini games. I'm probably not going to end up painting all the minis for them. But it has to at least get there. So we had to at least try this out before being willing to paint anything. But so far I've been having fun. This is a light dice chucky, exploration game. Probably one you'd enjoy. So maybe these will get painted. Maybe you could come help me. We could paint some minis on stream. All right. So I think we were just about to do the Overlord turn and we're going to die. I believe that is where we were at. So Jared, you came in. You have a 6th sense. We have a wizard here who keeps finding bags of gold hidden in every corner of this dungeon. And he's got a 6th sense for that. You have a 6th sense for just appearing when I'm about to die. So let's see. Can we see? Yeah. My dwarf is here. You can't even see him. He's too short. He's just cowering in fear of all these zombies that are all around him. So that's going to tickle. Oh, 100%. No point investing any time into a mediocre game. Pretty sure I said that I'd come help. You did say you would come help. It's true. It's true. We have to... not even we. I have to make good on planning that out, I guess. Hey? So, I'll do better. But first, let's get my ass kicked here. So, The Overlord is going to activate all of these guys. I don't think the order really matters. I think the zombie is even going to shamble around over to here. So there are 3 zombies attacking us. But they're always going to attack the weakest target if at all possible. So they're going to attack this wizard. He's going to end up dead. He has not been useful, frankly. So we'll start with this guy. I'm going to, like, we are losing bad here. We're going to retcon my earlier decision. These are just normal zombies. That was clearly too much of a jump in difficulty for us to handle. So, they're just a normal zombie. That does mean, however, that they're going to roll 4 dice. And we are only going to roll 2. Actually, yeah. We're only going to roll 2, and we only block, only ones are feeble. So, he's going to hit us with everything, which means that we get hit. All right, we're down to 1 health. We're on our last breath here. Good thing there's another zombie to attack us. Well, this one failed, though. Well, he briefly failed, and then he succeeded anyway. We're going to block one of those, or one's a feeble attack. Normally we would block these other ones, but we're outnumbered, so we will not. So we'll block this, but then this one still hits us, and that means we die. We die. That means our Overlord is going to get an extra thing, and on our next turn we spend the whole turn reviving, essentially. So, our final zombie will make the same attack, but he's going to attack Rorden, the dwarf fighter, who is going to have a little bit more armor, right? He's outnumbered, so he still has 1 fewer combat dice. But he has 3 armor instead of 1. So these all miss. He does not get hit. Alright, he's fine. Okay. And this guy's dead. Ugh. Alright, so then our zombie friend over there, or not zombie, skeleton, rather, is going to attack us. We're still outnumbered, so we're still only going to roll 3 dice. But we successfully block that. So, what do we got? We got 5 and 4. So we successfully block that attack. And that's all the enemies on the board. So they killed us. They killed our wizard, but they didn't break our spirit. So we're going to spend our whole turn of the wizard reviving. Cool. And then I guess it's time to start killing some stuff. So, outnumbered is kind of a weird misnomer for enemies in this game, because this guy's actually outnumbered by us. As long as they have more, like you have more than 1 person in their front arc, they're outnumbered. So they are outnumbered, but they're just a normal zombie anyway, so it doesn't affect them because they only roll 2 dice and they only have 1 armor. They can't be any lower than that in this game. So we will roll 4, they will roll 2. They only block 1s. We're going to pair up the dice here, highest to highest, and every one of our attacks hits. So this guy's dead. Got rid of that guy. Sweet. So we have 1 fewer enemy on the map. We've used half of our turns. Our dwarf and our wizard. All our wizard did was just stand up. So if only our barbarian could get in there, but I don't even think he can make it. He can only go 5. So he can come over to help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he can't actually make it in there. Because this would have been a nice time to like go in there and start using his feat, his whirlwind. But sadly, not working this time. And I think our archer, if we want our archer to go in there and help, she's going to just roll in here and make a melee attack against this guy, which she's not great at, but she still gets 3 dice to his 2. This one's a miss. And these are also misses. So we flubbed it. We got a pissed off Overlord, which isn't going to matter because we're out of turns to do. But we totally failed. So, what's our Overlord going to do? I guess the zombies are going to attack, and they're once again going to attack the weakest target, our human wizard. So, he is going to have the minimum amount of dice again. There's fewer of them now, though, so they're only going to roll 3 dice this time instead of 4. So there's some hope. Not like that there isn't. Not like that there isn't. So we're going to block anything that's a 1, which is nothing. Pair up dice that are highest, so we get hit. And then we get to repeat this for the second zombie. That's a miss. That's a miss. And this would have been successful if only we hadn't rolled that 1-6. But we did roll it. So that's also a hit. It was close. It was close. And then the skeleton is going to attack us here as well. These guys just hate us. So, now he only rolls 2 dice. We still miss with 1s. So, or he still misses with 1s, rather. Which means we successfully blocked the skeleton's attack, at least. So that's cool. Alright. We survived. What the hell are we going to do now? We're gonna kill dudes. So, let's have our dwarf turn to face this zombie and attack him. 4 dice to his 2. 1s are misses. We rolled 2 1s, a 5 and a 2. Okay, so we missed, but we had just enough to kill him anyway. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh, that would have been terrible. So our dwarf has acted. I think our barbarian can get in there. Who's actually harder to kill? The skeleton warrior is. Our barbarian can run in and attack the skeleton warrior. He gets 5 dice to the skeleton warrior's 2. But that warrior is gonna... Oh, I guess he's only gonna block on 1s as well because he's outnumbered. So what do we get? A 2 and a 2. We're gonna pair these up. Those are both hits. This guy's dead. Okay, barbarian, dwarf fighter have acted. Our human wizard is useless and hurting. So we're going to have him act last. I sincerely hope... can we kill this zombie? Are we going to mess this up and the zombie's going to not die? Because we have to attack with only 3 dice. What could we do? I don't want to use my wizard's only powers. We don't really have a good thing to use. Okay, we're just gonna attack it with the elf and hope for the best. Hey everyone, nice evening. Welcome in. Thanks for that follow. Just getting our butts kicked by some zombies here. Hope you're doing well. Okay, the zombies are only going to block on a 1 with their armor, which means we're going to hit them 3 times. So the zombie's dead. Sweet. So, all of the monsters have perished, and our human wizard is still has actions. He cannot explore, because we can only explore each area 1 time. But we could run over toward that chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. just so that we can go get it next time. Strictly speaking, we could explore this room. What could go wrong? We're not going to spawn another monster, are we? Right? If we run away, we're all by our lonesome. It's the last turn of the game, or of the round. Surely we should greed and try to find some extra special gold or something here. Surely. There's a treasure chest in the corner that we could open, but there's got to be something more. Let's see what we find. Hey, gold! It says, you find a small dirty cloth containing a few gold coins. You may choose to add 10 gold to your hoard. If you take the gold, roll a single die. Okay, let's take our 10 gold. We're going to roll a single die. We want to roll high, which has been a problem for us. We're fine. Nothing bad happens. We get 10 gold. I don't even know if there's 10 gold tokens. Yes, there are. Okay, so our wizard is rich, but kind of stupid. Gonna die. How do we even open this chest? You know, we've never been anywhere near a chest in order to open it. Oh, there's also supposed to be a door up here, which I didn't place on the map. Completely neglected. When we explore and there's a treasure chest, we have to take 2 cards from the deck and get what we get, and don't get upset. Shit. We're gonna die. Our wizard's gonna die. Welcome in. Okay, so we have to place this marauding monster. We're legit gonna die. It's a zombie. We're gonna place it as rudely as possible, adjacent to our guy, right? Because he had run in here to do explore. I think he was facing this way, so we're gonna place this guy here, so he's out of line of sight as much as possible, but is in the flanking, the rear arc, and he's going to attack us. Thankfully, the zombie only attacks with 2 dice, but we only block with 2, and we only block on a 1. And we only have 2 health left. We've already revived once. We can't do it again. Oh, sweet. Okay, so we actually rolled well. This is a miss, because it was a 1. And we pair up the dice, so that's a block. So he didn't hit us. Sweet. Unfortunately, it is now the Overlord's turn. And he's just going to activate again. So we have to just make it through that again another time here. It'll be fine. He missed once. We pair up the dice, highest to highest. Unfortunately, he outrolled us. So we're going to suffer 1 more damage. And we're down to our last health on our wizard. I don't think he's going to make it through this game, frankly. All right. Well, sucks to suck, but at least it is time for us to go save the wizard. So we kind of neglected this part of the board, didn't we? Didn't we? Like I'm not showing you guys what I want you to show you at all. So we were in here with our barbarian. We killed the dudes, and then we just ran away. Because, like, there's gotta be a way to get something cool over here, right? Like, there's a trap just sitting here. Probably there's, like, a door on the other side of it or something. We have to go search that in order to find it. So we could go do that. Or we could save our wizard friend, right? He's just sitting here with this zombie, like, chewing on his neck. Ah. So we could go save him instead. But I kind of want to let him suffer. kind of want to just leave him to his thing here. You know, it really hasn't been he hasn't been a team player I'm really impressed by the fluidity of the zooms on the table. Really good to have a good view of everything. Awesome, thank you. That means a lot to me. I try really hard. You hang around here on stream, I get distracted by occasional tangents, monologues. I try really hard to have the games be legible, because I started streaming like a year ago or so, and one of the things that was really lacking in the space, I think, is I'd go watch a stream and then it's like I literally can't tell what that is. That was a common problem, so I tried to do a little bit better. So I try. I've had some tech issues today that have kind of messed things up a little bit. This camera over here, the little slider cam in particular, is kind of a little hokey, a little less ideal than I want it to be, but it's working out. So, okay, what the hell are we gonna do? We're gonna save the wizard. We'll be team players, I suppose. We'll send the barbarian to save the wizard. He'll go decapitate this zombie. Surely, no problem, right? So he can move up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he can swing this mighty axe to decapitate the zombie. He gets 5 dice. Zombie gets 2. Zombie only blocks on 1. See what we get. So that's a feeble one. But the rest, it all works out. So doesn't really matter. Normally we pair these up, but these unmatched ones always hit. And we need at least 2 hits. So we got 1 hit, 2, well, 4. Zombie's super dead. Zombie is super dead. Overlord is not pissed off because we only piss off the Overlord if we fail to kill them. Now we could open this door with our wizard, but that feels really like a bad idea. I don't know how the wizard is actually going to do anything remotely helpful. I think he's just going to kind of come over here and like lick his wounds. And his action is going to be stand in the center of the room and not touch anything, you know? I really don't know how to do. It's really great. Well, you're doing great for English not being your first language. I promise you, your English is better than my French. So. All right. So who's left to act? Everybody except our wizard and our barbarian. Our barbarian didn't quite get far enough to open the door. We gotta be completionists and go back here and try and open this up, right? We gotta. We just gotta go take a look. So let's send our archer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She can't quite get there. Are we splitting up and then dying later? Probably. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our dwarf has short legs, so he's just gonna meander along. I'm not really gonna get there. I suppose this means that now we have a person on the same tile as this spawn point, which means instead of the spawn point moving, we're just gonna summon a zombie over here for the Overlord turn, which feels like kind of cheap and whatever, but I'm still sad from how badly we got our butts kicked, so I'm okay with it. All right, so what are we gonna do next? I don't think we want to go this way and this way simultaneously. I feel like that's gonna end poorly. So, notably absent from this room here is any way to get to here. So why doesn't our archer, she can move into the corner here and explore. So when she explores, if there's any secret passages, they get found immediately. And there is one right here. And I think then we roll a die to see if we spawn a monster. I believe. Oh, cool. All right, so we're going to roll a die, and anything other than a 1 is just fine. So what do you think it's going to be, guys? Oh, it's a 6. Wow, okay. Cool. That's out of character. I know what you'd say about that. about being a completionist, I know exactly what you'd say. Okay, so we found the secret passage with our archer. I think we just keep hobbling on over that way, right? Sadly, a bunch of us are slow. Okay, we're gonna slowly move that way. And then our Overlord's gonna have a really unspectacular turn, and he's just, this zombie's gonna shamble towards us. We can kind of hear it off down the hallway, you know? And it's slowly making its way to us. Oh, hey, when I revealed that secret passage, you know what I forgot to do? Put the armored zombie here, who's also gonna activate on the Overlord turn. So he's a swarm minion as well. So he's gonna try and stay hidden unless he's close enough to get to a target. He moves 4, he can totally get to our archer. So the archer's gonna go this guy's gonna run over here and snuggle our archer and take a big bite out of her face. I don't know what it is for this archer. Madriga, I don't know how to say her name. Anyways, she constantly walks through doors and gets eaten by zombies. It's just like, it's unfortunate. So the armored zombie is actually pretty strong too. He gets 3 dice. She gets 3 as well, and she's gonna block 2s or lower are feeble for the zombie here. So he misses with 1, but unfortunately, if he hits us at least 1 time, we take 1 damage, right? So we pair these up. 6 is higher than 3, whatever. He hit us twice, so we're gonna take a damage. All right, that sucks. So our barbarian is still far enough away that on this round of play, he's not going to make it over here to help us. He's only got 5 movement speed. He can get to basically kind of where this dwarf is here, but he can't actually make it. We know how useful the human wizard is. Not very, right? But we can just walk our dwarf over here and smack this guy in the head. And he's outnumbered, and we're attacking from his flank. So he's going to get only 1 die, and he's only going to block on... His armor's effectively 2 now. Or sorry, only 2 dice, 1 fewer. He's going to get 2 dice, we get 4, and he only blocks on a 2 or lower. Okay, well there's 2 2s and lower. And we miss, and we hit him once. So we hit him 1 time, which is not 2 times, so he doesn't die, which means the whole purpose of using our dwarf was so that we didn't piss off the Overlord. But if you attack and fail to kill somebody, Overlord's pissed off now. So, is the Overlord going to interrupt us? Not this time. Not this time. Okay. So I guess we're trying to kill this guy with our archer. She gets fewer advantages against him. Or we can run our wizard over and stab him in the back. But that's extremely unlikely to be successful. Let's do it anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to run over here and just try to stab this guy in the back. So he's outnumbered. He's being attacked from behind. So he's only going to block on 2. He only gets 2 dice. But we only get 2 dice because our wizard is like trying to slap a zombie in the back. Pat him on the back. Does this zombie version of Hero Quest good for more players? Sounds like a different type of playing tactics than we could use and different player action. Okay, so... Oh, I rolled 1 too many dice for us. But I think we failed anyway, right? We got a 6. We hit him once and then we miss. We almost had it, but didn't. So we failed to kill him. Sucks to suck. Will the Overlord interrupt us? No. So I actually haven't... We were talking about this earlier on stream. I actually haven't played Hero Quest, but I understand, like, the vibe is very similar here. Especially, we were talking earlier, there's like furniture in this game, which I just have tokens because I have like the base version of them. But there are like, you know, little plastic furniture bits you can get that I saw there was a little insert in the thing, and it immediately reminded me of HeroQuest when I saw like, oh, you can get little like terrain, like crates and doors and stuff, bookcases, right? But I actually haven't played HeroQuest, and I would say that this game is good for 1 to 5 players. There's an Overlord player. It's sort of like a little bit weird to play solo because there's an AI Overlord but you, like a lot of what you do in the game is based on like finding secret passageways and stuff like that you wouldn't know about if you were playing with an actual Overlord player. But of course I know where they are because I can't not know while executing, the turns for the Overlord. So I'd say that overall it's sort of like, it's HeroQuest like. This particular scenario or this group of scenarios our enemies are basically all like zombies. There's skeleton archers and warriors and some zombies. There's only a couple other enemies in the base box. So it is pretty zombie based. And man, we are struggling here. Okay, it's time for the elf to try to do this here. She can't make a shot action. She can't attempt to shoot this guy. But she can roll 3 dice to his 2. Yeah, she totally whiffed it. She totally whiffed it. So that's just a fail. We failed again. Do we get interrupted afterwards? Yes. All right, so the Overlord gets to choose someone to activate. Probably it's going to be this guy. And he's going to attack the wizard. He's going to attack the wizard. Because if the wizard dies, it gets hit one more time, he's dead. We have to always choose the meanest thing possible. The zombie has 3 attack. Our wizard only blocks with 2 dice. Only blocks on a 1. Or only... Yeah. Oh, what a shame. 2, 2, 2. So we pair up the dice. 5 to 2. 3 to 2. We actually successfully blocked both of these hits, but this one gets through. And that means our wizard's dead. We're out. It's over. Sucks to suck. So yeah, normally you would play, you could play this with any number of players. Like, I think this would probably work well with 3 players or 5, right? So 1 Overlord player, and then either 2 players each playing 2 heroes, or, 5 players and 1 hero per, All right. So that was our interrupt. We still have our guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our barbarian runs in to save the day. Probably isn't going to. It's the Overlord's turn now. So our zombie's going to continue shambling over. And then this guy's going to attack us. He's going to attack our archer because he always attacks the weakest person. So he's going to attack with 3. She's going to roll 3. She blocks on 2s at least. So that's a miss, a feeble attack. We're going to pair up the highest dice. We blocked this hit, but we don't block this other one. So it doesn't matter. As long as we have at least 1 unblocked, we take a damage. All right. Surely, with our 3 remaining heroes, we can finish off this guy. Our barbarian's going to run over here. He's going to attack him. He only gets 2 dice and only blocks on 2. We get 5. Surely we can't screw this up. Sad that the poor wizard died. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe we can screw this up. All right. So these were misses. Because they were too low. Because he blocks on 2 or lower. They're just automatically, they were feeble, they get discarded. So these get discarded, and then we pair them up in pairs of highest. Okay, so we only hit if the blue die is higher. So that's a miss, but this is a hit and this is a hit. We only have to do 2 damage, so we actually do succeed at killing this zombie, which means our Overlord isn't angry at us this time. Thank God. I neglected to put this treasure chest over here, but there absolutely is one. So our friend the dwarf is going to walk in here, and he's going to try and explore this room. So that means we get 2 cards. We have to resolve them both in the order they come out. So let's see what we get. A bag of gold. 25 bucks. Let's take it. And we got to roll a die. See if we get a 2 or lower. We got a 4. We're fine. And our second card is another marauding monster. So our turn ends immediately. We put a zombie out. Love that for us. You know, I'm really enjoying finding all the marauding monsters. We make it as tragic as possible. So he's going to attack us from behind, as far away from other people as possible. And he gets to activate immediately. Now it's just a normal zombie, so he only rolls 2 dice. But we get 1 fewer dice because we're being attacked from behind. So, what'd we get? A big old fail. So, we could use our once per game. We can re-roll 1 die when defending an attack. We're only ever going to get to re-roll 1. And we always only take 1 damage at most. So we might as well just re-roll this pathetic 1 and see if we can do better. We rolled a 4, which is still not good enough for us to block the damage. So we still take a damage. And we used up our special. Embarrassing, but true. Okay, we've used our dwarf and our barbarian. We still have our archer. Sadly, Denor, the human wizard, is taking a long nap. So, do we want our archer to run in and save the day? Probably. We're going to run over here and take a shoot action. This is a miss. These are hits. So we got 1, 2, 3 hits. Zombie's dead. We are out of our actions. Denor remains dead. This zombie's going to shamble on over towards us. And it is the next turn. Hydrate. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. It has been a hot minute. But yes, don't have a person playing the other side, or Master Dungeon sounds very different. Oh no, listen, the reason I'm streaming is so people can ask questions. So that's great. So yeah, something that I haven't really been demonstrating much because we figured out early on how the monsters work, and then there's only a couple different types of monsters, so they all kind of work the same way. But the way that it's resolved in this game is that they give you these different monster types. Okay, and then they each have like they can be mindless or cunning. So like all the skeleton monsters are mindless, right? So it gives us sort of like a priority for who they're going to target and what kind of things they're going to do based on what's happening at the time. So if they're engaged, it means like they're currently fighting someone and they're going to continue fighting them. Whereas if they're far, they couldn't. If they move as far as possible, they couldn't ever be in range of somebody, right? And like the zombies, for instance, are cunning instead. So they're going to move, but when they move, they try to stay in cover so that you can't like shoot them with arrows and stuff. So there's like a little bit of an AI system, and I've just been trying to like, you know, play the Overlord like fairly, right? I'm trying to make it you're supposed to be as hard on the players as possible. So I'm trying to make it difficult for us wherever possible here. It's kind of cool. It's working out as a system. Okay, so the Overlord is not angry. We don't have very much on the map anymore. We killed that one armored zombie, so that was cool. It's time to make our way over to this side of the map. Probably we got to get into this area over here to... Like, our goal is find the secret passage in order to win, right? So we probably got to get in over here. So we should probably head that way. Now, I think our archer here can move up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She could be down here and facing that guy and shoot at him. So she gets 4 dice, he gets 2. This one was not supposed to be in there. He only blocks on 1s. So we're going to pair up these dice. And we're going to get 3 hits, so the zombie is dead. So she did well. Our other guys can run out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Overlord turn is over. I feel badly again, because the way that the rules are, so there's this little spawn point, and the idea is that this is going to like respawn over here or something closer to you and spawn enemies, but that's only if somebody isn't on this tile when there's no enemies in the game. So just another useless zombie is gonna just like spawn off in the corner. Given the state of affairs and our heroes were looking pretty dead, I think we're okay with that anyway. All right, let's just make our way towards this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're basically just running. Our poor dwarf runs the slowest. He's got the shortest legs. And the zombie's going to chase us for the Overlord turn. Now the Overlord's going to be pissed off when we open this door. So that's a thing. Oh, I can't actually move that guy there. Okay, let's send in the Barbarian. So he's going to move 3, spend his 4th movement. He has 5 to open this door. That makes the Overlord aggressive, which means he's going to try to interrupt our actions. And we get to see what's in this next room, which is nothing. There's just a door. So we could have opened this like 4 hours ago and it would have been fine. There's just another door down here. There's no bad guys. So we can move in here, I guess. Then we check to see if the Overlord interrupts us. So we flip out the card from the bottom, and if it has an icon in the bottom corner here, the Overlord takes like an extra turn, but not this time. I guess we're just running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Poor stubby-legged Dwarfy-Doo is taking his sweet time. I guess we would, like, the interrupts are just going to move the zombie a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. It only matters if he hits us. And then on his turn, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to race this way. Now, the good news is we'll end up moving this spawn point next time, and it won't be so cheesy. But do we want to open that door and see what we find? I don't think so. I think we want to be careful here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We'll just face it where we're ready to shoot, I guess, maybe. And we'll get our dwarf friend to make his way over here. This guy would have been passive because it was the start of a new round. And this guy's just going to shamble on over. We're going to forget about that guy just long enough for him to kill us, I'm sure. Okay. Our Barbarian's going to open the door. What do we find on the other side? What do we find? We find a skeleton archer up here. A zombie right in front of us. And an armored zombie off to the side. I mean, we might as well go get messy, right? Let's race in here. I mean, we're not going to have a better opportunity to use our whirlwind action. We ran in here. We'll use our little once per game feat. So we get to attack both of these guys. If they were behind us, we would also get to attack them. But there's these two in front. So we're going to attack them. We make a 4 dice attack against each of them. So we're going to start with the normal zombie and see what happens. Okay. normal zombie did a exceptionally okay job of blocking us. Ones are misses. We pair up our strongest dice, highest. So that's a miss, but this is a hit and this is a hit, which is going to kill that normal zombie. Nice. And then we get to hit the armored zombie with 4 dice. He unfortunately is going to roll 3, and he is going to block 3s or lower. So we got to roll real goodly. Okay, I think we did it anyway. So these are, we whiff those, but we pair these up highest to lowest. Doesn't matter that he had more block than us. This is a hit, this is a hit. We only had to do 2. So we ran in, we whirlwinded like a crazy person, and we successfully decapitated 2 zombies. Our moment was finally here. All right. So, I guess our archer can move in 1, 2, 3, 4, and can try and shoot this skeleton archer. So she's going to get 4 dice. He's only going to get 2. He only has 1 armor. This is like the weakest enemy in the game. Surely we can do this. We only miss on 1s. So we got a miss, but then 2 unanswered hits. We only needed 1 of them. Skeleton archer's dead. And that means that if our dwarf was faster, 1, 2, 3, 4, we could explore this and win the game. But he's not faster. So this guy's going to shamble along towards us, and then we're going to explore. We're going to find this last secret passage, and as long as we find this secret passage here, we complete this scenario successfully. So we did it. We beat this this scenario, the intro scenario. Overall, I would say this was fun. I had fun playing this game. I don't know about this wizard, man. Maybe the other deck is better. So the way the wizard works is that you pick 2 schools of magic when you start the game. 2 out of 3. There's hydromancy, pyromancy, and petty magic. And I chose petty magic, right? So that gives us steel skin. We can buff our allies to take less damage. Crippling blow, which gets you to do a really minor attack, and then it reduces their armor and stuff for the rest. Ooh, excuse me, sorry about that. Healing spring, so we can heal. That was useful. And then we never used any of our hydromancy skills. We can knock monsters back. We can, reduce, like, stop them from moving. And, or that's the stop from moving. I guess we can reduce their armor and their movement. Anyways, these were like interesting utility spells, but they were all once per game. And none of them, because most of them require a line of sight, it was really difficult to do this with the AI overlord in a way where our poor wizard wasn't just in danger in order to do anything. So we ended up just sort of exploring with him and whatever. It didn't feel like there was a great way to use his abilities effectively. So that was kind of a shame. But I mean, probably a skill issue from me, frankly. Let's see what his pyro... I mean, pyromancy is probably like more attack-oriented cards. Admittedly. Let's take a look. Flame Bolt, yeah, that sounds like it. A 5 dice attack, okay. A 4 dice attack. And a 3 dice attack with 2 less armor. Okay, so basically I chose the wrong school of magic. This was a very combat-oriented game. I didn't feel like the buffing was super useful in the way that it worked out tactically. But anyway, that aside, this was fun. Light, beer and pretzels almost, like kind of just a funsies, for funsies game. There's a big campaign. I did Adventure 1, and there's a lot. There's 10, 12 adventures in here. different scenarios. I'd be interested to play them again, but this would be a more fun game with an Overlord player, hands down. The AI is super simple, but it isn't particularly satisfying, right? So I think that overall, this is a game that I would totally play again, but I'd prefer to play it with at least one other player. And I think maybe 3 might be really nice. If we had 3 players, we'd have, controlling 4 heroes is a lot. Usually if I was playing a dungeon crawl type game solo, you usually end up playing with 2 heroes. But there's no way to scale the difficulty here. You have to have all the heroes in the game. So I think probably 3 players, 1 for the Overlord, 2 for the heroes, and they're each controlling 2 would probably be the sweet spot, but that's just a guess. I don't know. Anyways, I don't think I'm going to run through this anymore today. I feel like I've had enough. I want to keep today as a short stream, frankly. So I think we're probably going to call it here and find a place to raid. Yeah. Overall, I got to say, we've got a couple new follows today, a couple Prime subs. Thank you for those of you, Velvet Knight, Taxpayer 2000, Jack. Thanks for those Prime subs. Appreciate that. Helps me a lot. And I'm glad that we got to give this one a whirl. So, things we got to do before we wrap up here. We got to talk about painting minis. I don't know, Jared, Caffeinated Miniatures, if you're still in chat or not. But Jared, if you haven't checked out his Instagram or his YouTube, you should. Caffeinated Miniatures on both platforms. I'm sure you can find him. He does great mini painting and is generally just a cool guy. So Jared's local to me. He's agreed to come help me learn to paint minis because I suck at it. So I'm just gonna painting. Yeah, totally. So it's funny. One of the things that I've found surprising about Twitch is how many, the board game community on Twitch is very small, and the community that's actually, I think, quite a bit bigger is miniature painting, right? Mostly for tabletop, not necessarily board game, but like tabletop games, Warhammer, that sort of thing, right? But I've met a bunch of people in the mini painting community by virtue of being here on Twitch, and all of them are like awesome people. So yeah, this is, I guess, looks like Jared's probably not in chat anymore, but I guess this is my like public commitment. I am going to organize in the near-ish future, emphasis on ish, a little bit of a painting stream. I'll get Jared to come here and speak slowly to me about painting minis, and we'll see if we can do like a half-ass job on something, because I've painted 1 mini in the last calendar year, and I think I've painted 1 mini in the last 3 calendar years. So rust, not that I was good at it ever, but I definitely haven't, my skills haven't improved with the rate that I do it. So we're gonna do some mini painting here sometime soon. And I guess I should tell you about other things. So I started this project a little while ago called Meeples by Mail. 6 weeks ago I started it. I joined this thing called Build Space, which was like a community of people doing stuff. It's the best way I can describe it. Build Space, essentially, you just try to pick an idea you're passionate about and do something with it. So my idea was that I wanted to help people play more games. So I started a board game club called Meeples by Mail. You can check out the site, meeplesbymail.com. Let's see if I can drop that in chat. I don't know why this came out of order. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Anyways, meeplesbymail.com. And basically the idea here is that it's a little bit of a board game club where you sign up, you fill out a short survey, we figure out what kind of games you're in, or games you're interested in, rather, and put you in a group with other people interested in the same stuff. And then I mail you guys a game, somebody in the group, they play it, post about it, and then mail it to the next person. And it gets mailed sequentially between all the members of the group, and finally makes its way back to me here. So this is something we started, about a month ago, and we have one package out in the mail. And we have enough people signed up that we could send out a couple of more but I'm hoping to get a few more signups first because, you know, the more people we have, the more the games that we mail out can be kind of a good fit for the group, right? So hoping to get a few more people signed up and then send some more games out in the mail and kind of see what happens with it. So if you're interested, check out the website. I'd appreciate it a lot. Yeah, worldwide. So we're just sort of in the plan. Like, obviously, this was just like an idea I had a month ago. Like, hey, I'm going to start a board game club and send people board games and see what happens, right? And I think one of the challenges is that it might be too expensive, but we're exploring that. So in our test group, we do have someone in Estonia. Like we're definitely have a couple users who, I'm in Canada. Most of the folks that are signed up are in Canada or the United States, but we have a few overseas users, and I'd like to try that out, whether it's cost prohibitive or I think realistically, in order to keep this, you know, make this work, we need more people, like enough people overseas that they could be their own group, and they're kind of sending them, you know, like we're not crossing like from the US to Germany or something, or France or whatever all the time, back and forth. I think that's going to be cost prohibitive, but we're like blissfully ignorant of exactly how that's going to work and in this trial phase. So we're just going to give it a try and see how expensive it is and see what happens. So if you're interested, sign up and like we'll make it work and figure it out, right? To US and Canada, it's really expensive. Well, I would encourage you strongly just to sign up anyway, because, you know, like that's like, I think that's like totally realistic outcome is that we're not going to ship kind of overseas from US and Canada to Europe regularly, but we have kind of not quite enough European folks signed up yet for them to have their own kind of group, but like, you could help fix that, right? We get a couple more folks from Europe signed up and we're there. I think I'm really used to that. Like, you know, even on Twitch, there's somebody's holding a contest and I have to ask if it's worldwide. I'm in Canada. I'm right there beside the States. And just that little bit of extra distance, like, immediately disqualifies me from like mostly everything, right? So I'm used to it. I get it. I'd like this to work and us to figure out a way to make this work worldwide. So sign up and, you know, we'll see what we can do. Less expensive to send something in Australia from France, but yeah, we want to try it. So please, I would consider it a personal favor if you would sign up, and we'll see how we can accommodate that. We want to figure out how it's going to work for other regions elsewhere in the world so that this can happen and hopefully just like become a thing. Like, we're definitely in an exploratory phase right now. It might be that this is too cost prohibitive, or stuff gets lost in the mail too often, or it takes too long, or whatever. But we're gonna try it out. So sign up and we'll see how it works. And other than that, I think, yeah, so we were on vacation for a little bit. We're back now, obviously. So I think we're going to resume our normal streaming schedule. So I will be streaming on YouTube Live Wednesdays with Sarah, as I do. We're going to continue playing games in the top 100 on Board Game Geek. This past Wednesday, we played 5 Tribes. I'm not sure what we're playing this coming Wednesday, but something in the top 100. So you can catch us on YouTube for that. And I will be back per usual this time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time on this coming Sunday. So back into the normal groove of streaming and all that stuff. And yeah, that's that, I guess. So let's find someone to raid. The idea is really good. Just a question: how far is your top camera from the table? The top camera is about 6 feet from the table. So listen, now I'm gonna tell you about camera gear and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, the top camera, I have a zoom lens on it. And I did not. Here, one sec. I'm gonna spare you an embarrassing moment. Give me 1 sec. All right, so I have a big old zoom lens on this top camera so that I can, it's about 6 feet away, but this is like, if I zoom it right out, it can get this whole mat in the camera, which is big enough for me to play most games. You know, it's about 3x5, right? And then I can, you know, zoom it in like kind of preposterously. When we're doing this, it's just a little digital zoom, but we can go, oh, apparently it's not going to let me connect to my camera today, so I can't show you that. But anyways, we can zoom right in. Like I could, if I wanted, we could have just the board be like the whole picture, you know, without, and then still be able to do that thing. So anyways, camera setup, like I said, is important to me. I want to be able to do this too and say like, hey, look, a card. You can read it. You can see what it's about. You know, I hate when I watch other streams and I can't see what's going on. It grinds my gears. So, yeah. It's with a green glass. Oh, like a green screen for the overhead? I'll say yes. It's not actually a green screen. It's I use a Luma screen, so it's actually backlit. But functionally, yeah. I gotta like, so there's a front camera. There's the fun little slider camera over here, which normally is on a slider and is moving, but it didn't want to play nice with me today. Maybe it's decided that it's okay to do it. Oh, there we go. It just didn't work all stream, but it wants to work now. Anyways, so there's that guy. We got the overhead camera, and then strictly speaking, I guess I have a fourth camera because there's a card cam on a desk beside me here so that I can show off stuff like that. I like camera gear. What can I say? It's my thing. So, all right. With that though, I'm going to find somewhere to raid. We're gonna see if we can find another board game streamer that I can take you to. So let's see what we've got. We've got Heartboard Games are online. We've rated them recently. Let's see if we can find somebody else. Elevation Games just started. They're getting weird with Weird Wood Manor. I feel like I have that game, and you know, let's raid Elevation Games and see what happens. They just started like 5 seconds ago. Cosmic Beat is already in there. Abandoned us for them. So we're going to raid there. So I'm going to start this raid up so that I actually finish up, because this always happens to me. I go on these weird tangents. It takes forever. Anyways, we'll start this raid up. Thank you guys for being here today. If you haven't, check out the Meeples by Mail website. I'd genuinely appreciate, even if you just sign up the wait list, it really helps me know more about who's interested and what kind of games they're interested in and how we can make this whole thing work. So I'd love if you could do that. And you can catch me on YouTube Live Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain for stream with my daughter. And then I will be back here next Sunday for more solo gaming. So I hope to see you there. And with that, I hope you find a way to work less and play a little more. And we'll see you next time.